A lot of rappers can't really top their first album. Only a few.
Only a few.
Only a few.
Because it's like it becomes too much in the mind. You be too much like when that first album that took you out of here, you was doing everything from the soul, from the heart. So now you're successful at it. So now it's like, oh, I think the thing that really kills everything is I need to make this global.
Right.
Instead of just, hey, we just in here, oh, I got an idea for this, let me do this. You know, oh, I need to make it, you know, I'm trying to reach all the way. No, and that's usually the problem. And you know, you start thinking more technical rather than from the soul.
Do you think Nas topped Illmatic with any other albums?
No.
Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt.
He never beat that.
Blueprint. I think Blueprint.
Blueprint was good. Blueprint
I
was
think
good.
Blueprint
Just
top.
like Illmatic and It Was Written, those are the best two Nas songs for me.
Okay. Yeah.
Because It Was Written, it was bigger, but it was well done too. Because I thought he was going to get the sophomore jinx, but to me, in my opinion, he didn't.
I don't know. I didn't really like It Was Written. Maybe I like a song or two, but but definitely Blueprint, that was out of here.
Tackle any bad value, I have to grapple with the avenue. Radiation of the ravenel that rides the white horse without a saddle. The black sack's fifth without rationale ravenous. Levels occupied at the same is spelled backwards. Rap galactus, mental crashes into iron ashes. Iron Michael to a clear caches. Meditation on the poison matches. Medication in the form of glasses. Segregation from these other rappers. New chapters, speaking in computer graphics,
Right.
undisputed and computed by computer hackers. Move muted, I've elevated evolution. Photogenic with poetic prostitution.
Wow.
No solution, moving at the speed of 50 mutants. I'm 50-50 of a human in the air pollution. Truth's confusion, a mirror of a real illusion. Selling dimes around the Mayan ruins. Raps are unassuming like a shooter's union. A single unit fluent retribution.
Woo. It's not an interview. It's a conversation. Illa G.
Yes, Brooklyn.
Sir.
What?
Let's start with, have you heard the Perfect Rap album?
The Perfect Rap, yes, quite a few of them.
Can you give me one?
Infamous, Mobb Deep.
I agree. And why would you say that?
The mood, I guess it was the mood and how, for me, was how I was moving in the street at the time. Plus, I know their story. Right. I know the things like, I think the Infamous was more about what's going on in the hood and what was happening with them at the time. So, yeah. It was, you know, everything placed, a lot of things placed in order. Of
production crazy.
Yeah.
Rhymes crazy.
Yep.
Definitely. All right. How about your favorite old school slang?
Favorite old school slang? Really don't have one of those. You know, I'm a person that feels like, you know, all of us is from the culture, no matter what state you're in.
Right.
And so it was a lot of slang from different states, and including ours, that I felt it matched. You know, a lot of people were like, oh, you shouldn't say, you know, that's their word. No matter, we all the same. So, you know,
right.
I like different slang from everywhere. I never had a favorite slang.
No. Okay. Really?
Yeah, never had a favorite
slang. I don't know, man. Like high school days, my was you wildin' or you faking jacks.
Oh.
Yeah, that was my back in the days.
I forgot about those, but yeah, I never really had a favorite slang.
Okay. All right. So now, since you were friends with both rappers, Sean Price, Prodigy, who would you say is a better rapper? No generic answer.
No, I'm not going to give a generic answer. They both had different styles, but toward the later years, I will go with Sean Price, because P, you know, was changing his stuff up. Like I really appreciated the younger infamous Prodigy, to me, he sounded like he was rapping, like pointing the finger in your face.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it was to me. And Sean was in a group and became into his own later, where he came up with pretty much I don't get,
Right.
whether you get it, whether you like it or not, Uh, to me, like he said it best in the song, I rap about nothing and
Mm.
make it sound like something.
Mm.
So it's just,
So overall, as an MC, you say Sean Price.
it's honestly, it's hard to differ because they had two different times. Like the infamous years, yeah, I would say in the earlier years with Mobb Deep, yeah, I would say Prodigy. But
Mm.
toward the end of their careers, I would say Sean.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
So I'm sorry, but
No, no,
breaking it
I
down
hear
like
you. I
that,
hear
yeah,
you. I hear you. But I think that my only problem with Sean Price is that he was kind of, to me, just my opinion, he was kind of one-dimensional. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't really hear him on a Veterans Memorial. I couldn't hear him on like a Beans Feel It in the Air. Like I couldn't hear him on that because his wordplay stayed the same for everything. Same approach.
Well, I don't think you may have missed the years when he did it. He was doing a lot of topics at one time,
Mm.
like heartburn and, what I'm saying, look at the mess you made. He was getting he was doing a lot of personal stuff. But,
Right. Did you feel
uh,
the pain, the
yeah, if you hear that,
emotions?
yeah, if you listen to the mess you made, that's when they're the brokest rapper you know. Like you gotta like really, it was a time where Sean was doing like a whole bunch of topics.
Right. No, I mean I know what you're talking about, but it's like for Prodigy, like I could feel the pain. You know what I mean? I could
Yeah, I
feel
mean
the
that's yeah.
emotion. You know what I mean? Okay. So let's get into Bullet and a Bracelet.
Bullet in the bracelet, yeah.
Break down the name.
All right. When Mobb Deep came up with Diamonds and Guns, I'm the one that told Prodigy about Diamonds and Guns. I told him about a cousin of mine that they didn't, they was getting money in the street, and they really didn't buy clothes. Him and his partner ain't buy clothes. All they bought was Diamonds and Guns. So Bullet and a Bracelet was the new version of me saying Diamonds and Guns.
Gotcha.
So that was the breakdown of Bullet and a Bracelet.
Okay. So now this is all independent.
Yeah.
All right. So was this like an independent label behind it? Or
No.
This was just you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how did you finance this project?
Bullet in the Bracelet was dealing with the homies from Virginia, Team Demo.
Mhm.
Bullet in the Bracelet, they did maybe majority of the beats, maybe except two. One was Alchemist and the other one was Havoc. Shouts to those two. And yeah, basically they had their connections of using it. We went through like college radio with that one.
Okay.
So that's how it really was just, they used their connections with it. So it was really not much finance behind it.
Okay. So now how does that work? Like you sitting down with them, you make the music for them, or is it like a 50-50?
Yeah, it's like a 50-50 thing.
Break it
We come
down.
up with different concepts and ideas of different songs, and then, it was pretty much like a learning experience, but it was just like, they have the connections to get it played on radio,
Mhm.
on college radio, so they did it.
Right.
And, you just see what happens when things take off, then, you handle things then, but, it did okay for its, underground presence.
Right. Right. Okay. So you think that if you had like maybe an indie label behind it, it would have did better than how it did?
Yeah, it would have pushed more.
Why
You know what
not?
I'm saying? Because it's just you learning the situation while they're doing what they're doing. While I know us at that time, basically we wanted to sit and figure, learn
Mhm.
what is going on. So we know how to do it when it's, pretty much you don't want to be under nobody's thumb forever.
Right.
So the object is to, okay, if I'm gonna have to use this, outlet,
Mhm.
then learn from it while you use it.
Right. Right. Okay. So now, why didn't you pursue like a major label after Hold You Down? Because you,
Well, by that time, let's see, Hold You Down, major label. I don't think they wanted people like that, like people like me. I mean, yeah, everybody that I spoke to was like an indie label.
but was there any deals on the table for you after that? After Hold You Down?
Hold You Down, if it was, I didn't know of it.
Mm.
And I kind of really didn't care because it's just like, it's different when, you
Right.
know, you find out certain things of how they do situations. And I know finding out things that I know now of how they get artists,
Mm.
like I could see myself being upset in a lot of situations.
Right.
And it would have been some type of issue,
Right.
physically
Mm.
issues.
Got you. Got you. So you just automatically took the independent route
Yeah.
based on what? Because a lot of people say I go independent because the money is better.
Well, you don't have to sell as much to make what it is, and you just learn. You know, Sean, bless his soul, seeing his underground thing really woke me up to the underground.
Mm.
You know, for a while I was so, you know, concerned and looking at, you know, believe that ideology of, you know, if you didn't sell this many records, you failed.
Mm.
But like independent wise, you know, like if you was able to have some type of understanding of marketing or how to go to people who do marketing, if you have, excuse me, you know, having the capital to do marketing, then yeah, it turns out way better for you independently because there's so many hands in the pot and there's so many verbal jargon that would basically like taking money away from you.
Right, right. Okay. So now with Bullet and A Bracelet, let's go to song. I think it's song number 5. My Image.
Mm-hmm.
You said on that song, there's a line where you said 2 shootouts in one day. Was that facts or just bars?
Yeah, that happened quite a few times.
Take us there.
Can't really tell that story.
Give it. Just sum it up.
Just, I mean, in the neighborhood, had a incident in my neighborhood, then wound up going to a cousin's neighborhood and having another incident same day.
Okay. Why do you like hold back from telling certain stories at this point?
Because there's violence involved.
That's the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the world. I mean, as an artist, you can't really hold back from telling stories, right?
Yeah, you can. People need to know the shit sometimes. Everything doesn't have to be told.
Right, right. Okay. Okay. So everybody made it out of that safe?
No.
No. Okay. I'm trying to, you know. But
Yeah.
all right, so moving along. Same album. What was the song? I forgot the song, but there's a line where you said, I drink the sea and I jump rope with the rainbow.
Illocrates.
Right. Break that down.
All right, Illocrates is just saying that I am a being not of this earth. You know, and it's my philosophy on a lot of different situations. And do you know what type of entity you have to be
Right.
that you can drink the sea? A normal human can't drink the sea; they would die. And I'm just saying, this is how I replenish myself with the sea. Something that you can't take, something you can't drink. It's normal. And it's just basically, you know, Illocrates is, like I said, it's an entity, an unexplained entity that I'm more powerful than you think I am.
Right.
And I'm always a fan of quotes and sayings and stuff like that. So it was just that was like my poetic situation. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? A powerful poem. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
How about jump rope with the rainbow?
Yeah, it's just like you cannot grab a rainbow. It's a image of a prism
Mm.
that shows you what's going on. Well, it doesn't show you what's going on, but it's just an image from a prism that you see, and you see a rainbow. So imagine that you're such a powerful entity that you can grab the rainbow and work out with it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just, I'm beyond what you can imagine who I
Right, right. That's what I'm trying to find out, man.
am.
That's what you know what I'm saying? But now, as an indie artist, right? A promoter booked you for a show. Let's say in Texas. Um, what is it that you ask for? Do they have to pay for your hotel, your travel?
Yeah,
Break.
common. It's in your rider. They take care of flight, hotel,
Mhm.
from getting from the hotel to the venue, from the venue back to the hotel,
Mm.
from hotel to the airport.
Mm.
A lot of times with these days, you got to be specific with having these things in there. Um, uh, no pork, no beef. If anything, fish. Maybe sometimes depends how I feel. Chicken.
Right.
Um, yeah, water and probably a towel or something like that. It's nothing too difficult.
Mhm.
Oh, and I asked that the hotel that they put me in has a gym and be above the fourth floor.
Why is that?
Too much noise. Like sometimes you don't want to be, and I mean, a lot of times it really don't be crowded, but just in case,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Maybe I think about when the Mob Deep days and, where everybody in a hotel and it's a whole flood and you're just trying to disappear
Mm.
and hide somewhere. So you don't want to be on a floor too low of a floor.
Right, right. Okay. So now, is it half up front or the whole thing up front?
They usually pay a down payment half up front.
Mm.
Sometimes you get the whole thing and you just got to show up. That's about it.
Right. So what you do, like a hour show?
At minimum, you're supposed to do at minimum 45 minutes.
Mhm.
Especially if you're the headliner, if they're booking you for the headliner, a minimum of 45.
Okay. What's like one of the biggest shows you ever did as an indie artist? Like headline as an indie artist?
Headline, I haven't really headlined anything, but the biggest show that I was in Czech Republic,
Hmm.
Hip Hop Camp.
Okay.
Like it was definitely a nice crowd with that. Twice
Hmm.
the crowd that came out to see me, and when Alchemist pulled me on stage
Were they singing the
for his,
lines and all that?
huh?
Were they singing the lines and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
they really, overseas, they really it shocks me every time.
yeah.
Some of my people be like, I don't know what you shocked for, but that I'm just, it
Mind
amazes me.
boggling.
Yeah, it amazes
Yeah.
me every time. So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now, when you get to this point, as far as, coming from back in the days to this point, and you put out multiple projects, is it worth it financially? Like the,
yeah,
the comeback, is it worth it?
yeah,
Talk
yeah.
about that.
Because well, for me, it's like I'm learning how to express myself
Mhm.
differently now. Because before I would not like speak on top. I would speak on topics here and there,
Mhm.
but now it's just like it's almost therapeutic to talk about the things I went through and talking about how I felt through the situation rather than putting out the situation of what happened, and kind of just always challenge yourself. For me, always challenging myself lyrically.
Mhm.
How can I, speak on something that is common, but you know, really no one has really touched on it yet? And can I speak on it from a different point of view of how I see things? And then it's just like of course, when you're artistic in that manner, you're a little nervous. You want to see how, people are they receptive to what everything you're saying? And, you also got to be prepared for, people have their lines that they like.
Right.
Because, to me, I may say something and be like, what? Like, how do you not understand that?
Right.
But somebody else will pick something very simple you say, and you'll be like, that's what you like? And, it's just to see what grabs people and what doesn't.
Okay, but on the business side of things,
Yeah,
on
and
the
the business side is
financial.
it, yeah.
Okay.
Especially when you, like I said, it doesn't take much. Even if you sell 2,000 copies or whatever it is, it's much more profitable than of course you would like to sell more than that, but something at $2,000 is way more, especially if you have your own studio and stuff like that.
Right.
And you kind of create a budget, if you can create a budget to do more marketing. But yeah, to me, yeah, to me it's like the equivalent of selling drugs. Same shit.
Okay. All right. So since the whole streaming thing started, right? Let's go to you put out a project. How good did that project do to where you say, you know what? I'm gonna put out another one because this one I made 10 grand off of this one, 20 grand off of this one.
Well, it don't even have to be. I'm not a fan of streaming. Like, I'll probably take most of my stuff off streaming and have you get it off my website. Because streaming, we
Just
don't have
physical or digital?
physical and digital.
Okay.
And, that way, because streaming, like, who do we speak to negotiate our streaming split? It's just naturally 3/4 of a penny, which makes no sense.
Right.
And, if you look at it, if Snoop Dogg has 1 billion streams and only make $40,000, that is not, it's not a good thing. So, and it's so many people's stories of sales and all that. And, I live and die with my choice. And I have no problem with that. You can't let people put their worries and things on you. If it does good, I'm a genius. If I don't, then I should have listened. So I'm okay with either one.
But isn't the whole point like basically selling records, how you could sell it? You know what I mean? Like you gotta have
Streaming
it.
is not selling anything.
I mean, what about the downloads, like the iTunes downloads, the whole
Yeah, they
album
can.
being
Yeah,
downloaded?
you can get it from my website. Cut out the middleman.
But keep in mind that it's a far reach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if they're really a fan of it, they'll go to my website and get it.
Right. You ever had that massive order from your website to where, okay, we done sold 1,000 today?
No, well, I'm really, really pushing the issue of on the website anyway, right now for this project. Everything else I was just listening to, whatever they say the norm is. So I'm going with what I think I should do with this project.
Okay. Which is what?
Psychedelic contraband.
What's the process with this one?
Just more. Well, one, I'm rhyming the way I really want to rhyme, which is almost like
No way. Have you, bro? You've been doing that for years. No.
Honestly, no. I haven't been rhyming the way I wanted to rhyme. Like everything. It's poetical and it's like entendres and quotes and philosophies and sayings what I did before, but it's just like more. It's more. I like using the correct term for words and situations, so I think that's better. And when you put these together, it sounds like if I was to say now, like like tabernacle battles, holding
Right.
double barrels.
Right.
Shake the shackles, I tackle any bastard value. The tabernacle battles tabernacle is the Bible, which
Right.
I don't for religion, but it's for people to understand.
Right.
So basically for me, it's like I'm speaking lyrical hieroglyphics to me. You know what I'm saying? I need you to figure it out and understand if you're a true lyricist of the sport, of the game, of being an MC.
Right.
Yeah, it shouldn't, I can understand when I'm doing a song. A song, you want everybody to relate. You could be simplistic of it to flow, yes. But as an MC, I think we should be very profound in words and all that. So,
I agree.
but like I was saying, the tabernacle battles is the fight between good and evil. Holding double battles. You know what I'm saying? I still like the good and evil. Even though I'm fighting this, should I be good or bad, but I'm still holding the double barrel.
Right. Right.
Shake the shackles, handcuffs. Like, I'm not trying to get locked up no more. So, that's the good side of it. You like, shake the shackles. I'll tackle any bastard value. A bastard is a person who's fatherless.
Right.
And, a man that doesn't have a father really doesn't know himself. So any bastard value of me, I would tackle your value of me because I know the worth of me and how, basically how I get down. So all of that comes from this 2-bar sentence.
Right.
And this is how I really want to
Finish that verse.
Tackle any bastard value, I have to grapple with the avenue. Radiation of the ravenel that rides the white horse without a saddle. The black sack's fifth without rationale ravenous. Levels occupied at the same is spelled backwards. Rap galactus, mental crashes into iron ashes. Iron Michael to a clear caches. Meditation on the poison matches. Medication in the form of glasses. Segregation from these other rappers. New chapters, speaking in computer graphics.
Right.
Undisputed and computed by computer hackers. Move muted. I've elevated evolution. Photogenic with poetic prostitution.
Wow.
No solution. Moving at the speed of 50 mutants. I'm 50-50 of a human in the air pollution. Truth's confusion. A mirror of a real illusion. Selling dimes around the Mayan ruins. Raps are unassuming like a shooter's union. A single unit fluent retribution.
Woo. Crazy, bro. Crazy, crazy. Definitely crazy. Now, in this era, rappers from the golden era, everybody just have this thing where they want to keep up with the young boy, keep up with the young boys. Is that a issue for you? Like,
I mean, of course, like when it first happened, a lot of elder statesmen was upset because there was no real meat and potatoes in the song. Not too many, pretty much, it was all energy. It wasn't really nothing being said. And that was the thing, is like, yo, say something. Even if it's a street tale, even if you made, it was no complete albums anymore.
right.
Then because it went through the phase of everything was trying to be a single, and there was just no meat and potatoes with it. That was my issue with it. Yeah, it was nothing.
Minute long.
Yeah, it was no like, strength in it, you know what I'm saying, in the song. So that was my issue. But the energy of it, okay, it is what it is. Things change. It may change for the better, may change for the worse. But down the line, they kind of started hearing each other. And it was just like, hey, listen to us. Like, yeah, do what you do, but say something. Yeah. Just a little bit. Something, like something you went through. You know what I'm saying? Because certain things, people don't even realize how much there's so many different genres in hip-hop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Like when you speaking on troublesome times in your life, that's the blues. And people don't pay that no mind. You know what I'm saying? Up-tempo is, no matter how you put it, it's pretty much like, you could be seen as disco or whatever it is, like, not the sound per se,
right,
but the feeling of it, the up-temponess.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, You just remain illa G. Like, you're not gonna say, you know what? Let me switch this up for this era. Let me try to put out a
No,
song to match this era.
no. My cousin, shouts to my cousin Pac-Man, but he wants me to do it so bad. Well, I wouldn't say he wants me to do it. He just like, he wants me to rhyme to today's style of beats,
Okay.
like how I rhyme to this today's style of beats, and I'm like, the beat, like I don't want to sound like nobody, but you know, it's just like there's a certain way. I'll probably have to sit and figure it out how to do it if I ever do it, but
Mhm.
yeah.
How you think you would sound on a drill beat?
I think I'll sound good because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, you know, it's just really just how to shorten things up to get to your point.
Right.
And, you know, I always try to at least make it make sense.
Right.
So I figure I'll sound good on it. But my point is, I don't want to sound like everyone else.
Bullets and a bracelet.
Mm-hmm.
True lies. Or beautiful lies. I'm sorry.
Beautiful
Beautiful
lie.
lies. You shine on that song. That song is like you telling a story, and the concept was great.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Why you didn't follow up with more of those songs?
I actually did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful lie. What else I did? Well, I got a few of them that hasn't been out, but damn, what else I did? Like, because I have a project I'm working on with Crisis,
Okay.
and one of them is called the Siren. One of the songs is called the Siren.
Mm-hmm.
So the mythological siren is a woman that is basically her tail is made of like fish.
Right.
And she sings a song and men come to the sea and she drowns them. So in case you don't know what a siren is, if you're a fan of Starbucks coffee,
Right.
that
Right.
image on the coffee with the lady, yeah, it's a siren.
Oh, okay.
And, if you do the whole thing of that. But so I'm using the siren as the streets is a siren.
Right.
She'll lure you in, tell you all so many things,
Mm-hmm.
and you do the things for her, and she wound up drowning you. So
Sort of
that's it.
similar like Beautiful Lies.
Yeah. So it's like that's just saying like it was like I love you, but I only loved you because I didn't know.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just a wake up to like she really doesn't care about you.
Right.
Just like in Beautiful Lie, everybody you never see her face,
Mm-hmm.
you never see her shape,
Mm-hmm.
but all the dudes love her. For what? When you get locked up, she doesn't write you a letter. Not one letter she tells you, I love you, while you gone. And you realize everybody is in there because of her.
If that option ever comes to you on the table to where, yo, just make some music like this, we give you this amount of money and we know we're going to do numbers, you wouldn't take that opportunity?
It has to feel good. At this point, it just really has to feel comfortable and good to me.
Hmm.
Like, I'm okay. There's people that still like the sound that I make. You know what I'm saying? People want that variety of it.
But just to step away for like one project.
It would have to be, it would have to sound like nothing else.
Hmm.
If that's what we're doing, it can't sound like nothing else. It can't be. It has to be at least a cooperation where it may have a hint,
Mm-hmm.
but it can't just sound like a total whole different thing.
Hmm.
It can be infused or
Right.
something in it, but it can't be that. Like it has to be good and comfortable for me.
Got you. So financially, you never look at it like, you know what? If I can make $1 million just to do a project, just
I mean, that's pretty much saying just sell your soul. If it doesn't feel good to you, that's like saying, hey, would you wear a skirt?
that's not, no, I don't compare the two. I'm just saying like,
For me, it's just like you doing something that, like I understand if you're open to that,
right.
cool, if you're open to that. But
Mm-hmm.
if it's just like, I don't want to do that. Like, it's just like, nah, I don't want to do that. I'd rather stay solid in my truth
Right.
and how I feel about it.
I understand that fully, completely. But bottom line, it's a business. And with that business comes finance.
Yeah.
So it's no sense of working, rapping 20, 30 years and don't have a mil, 2 mil, 3 mil when you could step off from one project and make that money. You know what I'm saying? You won't lose anything of being G or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you know, it gotta, like I said, it gotta feel comfortable.
Right.
For me to do it, it has to be comfortable.
Gotcha.
You know, the sound and everything, it has to be comfortable. It can't just be outright, hey, just throw me into the pot. And just like, hey, we got these beats, rap to these beats. No, it can't be that.